to the new series of videos on data analysis using Python. This course is designed for anybody who has basic computer knowledge with any programming language and some basic statistical and mathematical concepts understanding. You can be a data engineer, data scientist, data analyst, product owner, project manager, business analyst. So this course definitely has something for you. Before proceeding, if you are in learning path about data and haven't yet subscribed for this channel, please do like and share and press bell button for instant notification. To start with, let's understand what is data analysis and what's the importance of analyzing the data. So data analysis is nothing but converting the raw format of the data which is collected from different sources from the entire organization, and this raw format of the data is converted into a meaningful information by using some mathematical and statistical algorithms and processing. So this process of conversion of data, raw data, into information which is more meaningful for a business to make their decisions based on the information that is provided. So that's the reason it becomes important to consider the process of conversion from data to information. And so there are like key performance indicators and what we call about KPIs, considering any domain or any business for that matter. So each business has its own KPIs to measure their own performance in particular fields or particular expertise. So considering these KPIs for the analysis and measuring these KPIs, so will definitely show any business organization about their own performance and their own it helps the organization to have their own retrospective, and based on that they can take the further steps to improve the certain areas accordingly. And also it helps for the prediction, so that means it helps to predict, or it helps to forecast the oncoming or upcoming issues in the marketing, sales, or any domain, or maybe the predictions related to the sales with the competitors. And so this forecasting or prediction will definitely have a cutting edge when it comes to competing with the competitors, so that we call it as a competitive advantage. And this plays a major role in improving the business and aligning the strategies accordingly. So as a part of data analysis, there are multiple steps in this process. So let's understand each process and each step in the process of data analysis. So starting with problem definition. So whenever you want to start any analysis of the data, so the problem, we need to know what is the problem that you are going to solve, and what is the expectation from the business, or what is that you want to project into a business. So that's what important. So the first and foremost important thing is to understand the problem that you're going to solve, and next is to understand the behavioral aspects of the data. That means uh, like each data or each category or each kind of the data which is coming from a different kind of sources have its own behavior, have its own characteristics. It might be based on the time particular way. So we need to understand at what is the characteristics of the data which is coming in. And as we discussed, we need to consider what are the key KPIs that the business is looking for, or you want to present it to business, which can help business in taking their own decision. And also we need to have a proper designing and documenting process. So this helps in clearing out the clarifications that you have with respect to the requirement or the problem that you are going to solve. So by actually designing and documenting it in a particular way, so that will make the problem more understandable to the all the customers and the end users, and also who are different stakeholders that are working in the project. And also we need to plan accordingly, like we need to check who are who are the business analyst, who are the functional analyst, what is the functional knowledge that is required for the problem that is to be solved, so that we can understand it better. And who are the developers or data engineers or data scientists, for that matter, who are going to work on this particular assignment. And what is the project planning accordingly that we want to have here. So that comes in a planning, and solutioning is again a part of like a part of a initiation of the project, where we think of a different architectures, different solutions with respect to what technologies that you want to use, and how you want to store the data, what are the different policies that you want to consider. So this is will be as part of the solution. And once we understand the problem definition, so next is how we are going to extract the data. So when we say data extraction, the first and foremost thing is selection of the data. So the data what you are getting for to solve, or to address the issue that you are going to solve. So that data should be of a good quality, and that data should be sufficient enough to train your model, or give the appropriate result for you. So we should be very cautious in selecting the data set. So data set can be from external sources. That means you can get like a dummy data set from different sources, or sometimes you can get real data that you are actually working to try it to try it out with a different possibility. And so next is what we call as a sample data. So actually the initial analysis will not start with the actual data. It will definitely start with the sample data, which usually in terms of quantity or volume it will be very less, so that you can have a different algorithms or different analysis running on the sample data, which is small enough to perform the analysis and come up with the different algorithms or mathematical or statistical models or equations that you want to apply on the data. So next is so whenever you are extracting this data, and whenever you are converting you want to choose a data set, and you want to choose an algorithm or a statistical model. So the entire process is mainly dependent on the knowledge, experience, and most importantly the intuition. Because any data engineer or data scientist, it is not only when they are doing a predictions, it is not just a mere statistical and mathematical or programming knowledge. So this comes with a lot of experience, and along with that there is a lot of intuition decision they make to make it a successful model, to bring up with a successful model basically. And also we need to check what is the source of the data. So as I was mentioning, the source of the data can be from different sources. You can get you can get the data from like databases. You can get data from some data lakes. You can get from the data from the external outside the organization basically. And what kind of file format, and what is it, a batch data, is it a streaming data. So all does actually matter when we talk about the source of the data, and how it actually comes. So what is the data can be from internal from the internal organization level, or it can be from the outside. So next step is a data preparation. So once we have the data in our analysis, we consider the data and we bring the data into our system for the analysis. So the next step is, before applying any model or any predictive algorithms, so data has to undergo some certain data preparation steps. So this will help actually to bring up more efficiency of any algorithm, that predictive or any analysis that you are performing on the data. Because else otherwise, if the data is not good enough for the analysis, then it is really difficult to apply different algorithms which will be of less efficiency, we would say. So that's the reason we are talking about the data quality here. And so data quality cannot be 100% always when we are talking about the raw data. So that's the reason we need to basically cleanse the data. That means there will be some errors in the data which we are getting. There might be some duplicate records we are getting, and also we need to apply a different kind of normalization techniques, basically to condense the data that you are having, and make the data more denser. So more denser the data, your analysis will be more accurate, we would say. And also there can be some certain transformation logics that we are going to apply for the particular data. So maybe changing the file format, maybe applying some mathematical formulas to change the data, or to basically transform the data. And enrichment is nothing but we are enhancing the meaning of the data. Suppose if you are getting some particular column, based on this column you are adding one more column which might be enhancing or enriching the meaning of the particular data. So that we call about the data enrichment. And the next is a noise removal. As I was mentioning, there can be data which is of data which might have noise. That means which are having rows or records which are not useful for the analysis, so that has to be removed. And also parallelly we have to add the missing values. So when we want to add a missing values, so this missing values can be added based on again certain mathematical or statistical calculations. And yeah, there is a schema evaluation. What we are talking about, that means a data structure, basically the columnar format structure that we are expecting. So this also has to be well understood, because it cannot frequently change when we are talking about the analysis. So the schema should be fixed schema, and we should be knowing what exactly the parameters are coming as part of the columns of the analysis on the file or the table that we are doing. And there might be different file formats, so we can convert the file formats from one file format to another file format. Basically it might be part of the optimization technique that we are going to apply. Suppose if you are using a certain file format, so that file format will give you the optimal performance when we are doing a data analytics or analysis. So the next is volume and scheduling. So this is part of when you make it as a productionalizing or operationalizing thing. So the data volume, what needs to be considered has to be pre-calculated, because based on that we can scale our system accordingly. And also we need to take care of a scheduling, where it might be what is the frequency of the data load, what we are talking about here. And next, let's discuss about the data visualization. So when we talk about data visualization, it is more about how you are representing the analysis that has been done to the business users. So the business users won't understand, or it is not the data which is already analyzed it might not be representable in the representable format. So in a way we are trying to give a graphical or a pictorial presentation to our business users, so which is basically a statistical representation or mathematical representation in terms of bar charts, pie charts, or there are a lot of visualization has been provided by different kind of reporting tools nowadays. And what actually the basic things we will be doing here is summarization and grouping. Summarization is nothing but so we are condensing the data, or we are expanding the data for a certain based on certain dimensions. So maybe time dimension, or any other certain dimensions. And also we can group the data based on maybe based on some country, based on some different parameters, basically, so that also give a lot of views on top of the data that we are having. And we should also consider the patterns and trends, so we can show what exactly the patterns or the trends on the timely basis. So this will help business user to understand the trend analysis, or how the data is behaving, how the data behavior is changing with time. So the next we will talk about the predictive modeling. So that means so we have a different statistical model and different mathematical model. Basically we call it as like classification, regression and clustering. And so there is a linear regression, classification, regression trees, k nearest neighbors. So these are like basically statistical or machine learning algorithms. So that will be implemented to basically, so what we are basically to train the model. So what we exactly doing here is using all this predictive model, we will train the system, and based on that training, so we can perform certain kind of analysis or predictions. So next, let us see the model validation. So once we have the previous step, that is predictive modeling ready. So once we have our model ready, so we need to test that particular model, that how accurate the system is, because as we are designing a predictive model, it cannot be, it is based on the probability. So probability can be anything can vary from 0 to 1 in the probability. That means the whatever predictions that we are making, so that can be cannot be 100% accurate. So that's what we are measuring, the accuracy here, and measuring the error, basically what can possibly happen, and that's we call about as model testing. And here we are comparing with the actual system data, because in the I mean in the previous step where we are modeling, so usually we do that with the sample data usually. And so when we are actually validating the model, so we actually do it with the actual system, and that actually gives us the sense that what is the accuracy of the our model. So next we have training and validation. So what we are talking about is, so we have training data set and validation data set. So so usually when we are doing a previous step, so we usually do with the training data set, that is a sample data set, which is usually of less volume, or less volume. And when we are talking about the validation data set, which is actual system data, so we compare the model with both of these data sets, and so that is how we measure the efficiency or effectiveness of the particular model that we are building. So this process actually shows the entire data analysis process. So as a step by step, when we have any problem that we need to solve with respect to the data analysis, so it starts with the data extraction, data preparation, and then goes to the data visualization, and also have a predictive modeling and model validation, and then finally we deploy the model basically, and to the actual system. And when we deploy the model to the actual system, therein when we actually go to the business users and tell or present what are the different KPIs that we have, and what is the improvements that they are needing, they want basically. And when we do the model deployment, so basically a data scientist or a data engineer will go to the business user and present it. It is basically called as a storytelling. So once the entire analysis is presented to a business user is in the form of storytelling, so it might be an iterative process, that again from the deployment model, again the process can reinitiate to improvise the process of this data analysis. So this is a continuous process that has been going on unless and until the KPIs are all well fine tuned, and businesses getting expected what they want. And so this is the entire process of data analysis, and this is a part of the introductory video of the series Data Analysis Using Python. Thanks for watching.